We're going to be breaking down the sales activity for the community of Wildwood here. We're going to look at a couple of things. We're going to look at the last 20 days here in June. We're also going to be considering how the market performed in Wildwood for May. We're also going to look at what is going on with any expireds. And then we're going to round out with comparing that to the rest of the Calgary. So let me get into my screen here, and we're going to take a look at a few things. So you can see that the activity in Wildwood was down about 50%. New listings were also down, but the inventory level overall is sitting pretty much on par for year over year here. So there's about 2.5 months worth of supply. So what does that mean? All things being equal, if no further inventory was to come onto the market in Wildwood, it would take over 2.5 months at the current pace to sell out and have zero inventory available. We're going to compare that to Calgary, the rest of Calgary, and see how Wildwood is performing. One of the things to note, Wildwood compared to Calgary does have a slighter average price point. Here you can see at 913,000. That's up over 16% year over year. And why don't we take a look and see here just a few things that are happening. So if we look into the sales activity, as I mentioned, it's down about 50%. But our days on market have substantially dropped. Typically we've seen on average 28 days, and we're seeing about 12 days on average right now when a property is priced competitively in Wildwood. We can also see that the average price point is up about $100,000 year over year. Stemming from 820 this time last year up to about 916, about 790,000. So all things considered, Wildwood is performing very strong. It's still a very desirable neighborhood. Obviously, proximity to things like Edworthy, getting onto Bow Trail, getting out to Stoney now. So that's making it quite attractive. Schools, don't need to tell you, I'm sure you're aware, if you've been living in the community, it was one of the reasons that drew you to Wildwood. When you look at here, we can see over the last 20 days, we can see that the average price is sitting at about 1.32. So higher priced inventory has been moving here, which is a real positive thing. The average price point, again, selling over 1.1, closer to that 1.2 range, with approximately 23 days on average. And I know that we talked about in May that the average days on market was about 12 days, but you need to consider that product that's over $1 million does take longer to sell. And so there is that expectation that to command a higher dollar, it may take a little bit longer to do. We did see a few properties that did come off the market that just didn't sell. So keep in mind, even though our market in Wildwood is very vibrant, it still does need to be priced accordingly. So rounding out, we're just going to compare it to Calgary here. The rest of Calgary, detached price $916,000 in Wildwood, which is about $150,000 more than the average detached price home in Calgary at $762,000 approximately. And there's probably a total in entirety of around 1 month of supply. So we're about double that in Wildwood, but again, keep in mind that our price point is a lot higher. So all in all, Wildwood continues to be a very vibrant community. And if you would like to know specifically what your home would sell for, there's no cost or obligation. We're happy to do that. Give us a call, 403-809-3523. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Cheers.